Hot damn, everybody, we got some new Halo Infinite news that I totally did not expect from the new hashtag Ask343 session that they did. This was a 45-minute long Q&A that not only answered a bunch of things about the Inside Infinite that we just got based on Zeta Halo and its environment, they also answered a lot of questions that didn't have anything to do with Zeta Halo and the environment, like Playable Elites and dual wielding. We have a lot to go over, guys. Make sure you guys stay tuned throughout the whole video, help support the channel, click the like button, and click subscribe if you're new here, want to stay absolutely up to date on all the latest happenings in the world of Halo. Now let's start with the day-night cycle. Now, they went over this in the previous Inside Infinite update blog. I did a video showcasing just how the world would transition from the screenshots that they presented, how it would transition in the day-night cycle if you guys want to check that out. But somebody asked if there would be dynamic weather in Halo Infinite, which is a really good question because we saw rain and different kinds of biomes and stuff in the original Slip Space Engine trailer that came out. That was the announcement for Halo Infinite. However, they are not going to be doing a rainstorms or snowstorms kind of dynamic weather kind of thing with Halo Infinite at launch. Now, they did go on ahead and detail that they are really excited for the future of Halo Infinite. We know that Halo Infinite is an evolving platform for the next 10 years or so of Halo, so this could definitely change, but at launch, there is no kind of dynamic weather. There will be wind, things like that, and fog at high altitudes, and depending on the time of day. The wind system, they said they put a lot of time and effort into as well, with visual cues and audio cues for the wind system. Something else I covered in my previous video going over all the details from the Inside Infinite blog post was talking about the day-night cycle and how that could affect the encounters with the enemies, and they did detail it a little bit more with this Ask343 event. So they said the time of day will affect the kinds of encounters you come across. So at night you might see phantoms with spotlights and searchlights looking around for you, searching for the chief, and it really gives me some Halo 3 ODST or Halo 3 Recon, if you guys remember, announcement vibes when that phantom is looking for the ODST in the city of New Mombasa. Nighttime could also affect grunts. They'll be sleeping at night. That is a staple of the Halo series, but they also talk about emphasizing cool looking effects at night, like jackal shields. Something I mentioned that definitely would fit under this would be energy swords and maybe the silent shadow. Maybe those elites that are the silent shadow or part of the silent shadow will only stalk at night with those really sick looking red energy swords that we saw a concept art piece from. Now, instead of going over each and every question that everybody asked, I'm just going to go over the main points that I thought were really important for you guys to know because, like I said, it was a really long video, but try to keep this as short and concise as possible. So, somebody else asked if the game was open or semi-open world, and 343 kind of didn't really give a straightforward answer. They said they really focus on a lot of player choice and freedom, and to capture the essence of that choice with this spiritual reboot that is Halo Infinite. They really want to go back and think about the things that made the original CE great, like the second mission, Halo, or the Silent Cartographer, where you just get dropped into an area and you go explore, but they took it to another level with this game. You have the choice to tackle any kind of objectives the way you want. Now, you can't just go on ahead and skip ahead into the campaign. The main campaign is still going to be there, but while you have your main campaign active, there will be several different points of interest in the world that you could stop and do things at. Maybe a fallen pelican where you want to go explore and look at audio logs. They even hinted at that. There will be audio logs that really flesh out how that pelican got there. Maybe some personal stories from the people that were on that pelican, or more details going over what exactly has happened to Zeta Halo and the history of Zeta Halo. All really cool lore stuff, of course. I cannot wait personally for this because I'll be covering it all on the channel. Now, while you are exploring Zeta Halo, not everything is scripted, especially when it comes to stuff that isn't part of the main story. Random encounters do happen in Halo Infinite, and they could be searching for Chief. Now, what 343 describes it as is what I'm going to call dynamic encounters. So say you are going into a structure, a Banished structure, with a Scorpion tank. They said that the game will recognize that and make that encounter fun for people who are in a tank. But if you go in with a Banshee, that encounter would change and make it fun for you if you're in a aerial vehicle. The game is not going to punish you, in other words, if you're in a tank. So that is really exciting. They're focusing on making the game fun and enjoyable, and this dynamic element to it is really exciting if you ask me. Now 343 did go over what kind of biomes we can expect, or different environments that we could expect in Halo Infinite. Now the main biome is going to be that Pacific Northwest feel that we've seen several screenshots of, and even the gameplay trailer of. A lot of pine trees, a lot of green and stuff, but there are different things that are basically branched off of that main biome. Now these all won't be standalone, they're kind of extensions of that biome. So there will be swampy areas, high altitude areas, and something that 343 describes as deadlands, or war-torn areas that really describe what the heck has happened on Zeta Halo in the story. There's also even cave systems, very intricate ones that you can explore and be in very dark areas, and even those hexagonal shapes that we saw, those pillars coming up from the superstructure of Zeta Halo, those play a role in the environment as well. 343 also notes that those hexagons have changed since the reveal. Even though we didn't see many of them in the screenshots that they recently showed us, they are definitely still there, but they got a new coat of paint and they are looking better than ever. But basically think of all those biomes as a diversification of that Pacific Northwest main theme for Halo Infinite. Now we also know that Zeta Halo is considered a main character in the game, and somebody asked if the ring in the skybox was a actual 3D model or if it was something painted or 2D, and it is confirmed a 3D model. And 343 described this as a really important decision because, especially with the day-night cycle and being at different areas of the ring, they wanted to show that. So say you're at the peak of a mountain, it's going to look different from that perspective from when you were at the base of that mountain. So there is a lot of really dynamic stuff, shadows that are going on, even eclipses during that day-night cycle. Now when we're talking about cutscenes in Halo Infinite, these are all based on what you take into that cutscene. They're not pre-rendered. It is all in-game, in the world, very natural feeling, 343 says. So that really confirms that rumor a long time ago about the God of War style camera angles, where the cutscenes would really just go into and have a very natural feel from the gameplay so that you're not taken out of it. So all the weapons that you have equipped will be in the cutscenes, as well as the day-night cycle will reflect inside those cutscenes. You go into an area at night in the main story, that cutscene is going to be at night. So very interesting stuff. With Zeta Halo being a 3D model, you can actually knock things off the edge of the ring and watch them drift into space. 343 has confirmed that they actually did that. They were in a Scorpion battling a Wraith, and they pushed that Wraith and watched it slowly fall off the edge of the ring. There's gonna be some really cool stuff, really cool clips to see in Halo Infinite. So that is a nice little detail that they confirmed. They also talked about the design philosophy for the Banished, and they said to think of it as heavy metal, which music to my ears, red war paint, brutish vibe, very spiky, very aggressive design. And they say that contrasts really nicely to the Pacific Northwest main theme of Zeta Halo, because the Banished are basically dropping these structures from space and they're going down and just obliterating the environment that they're going into. And you guys could see from the very aggressive looking screenshots that we got from that Inside Infinite update. Now they also talked about wildlife, and stay tuned guys, because there's a lot more to talk about, including confirming if there's dual wielding, playable elites, things like that. So wildlife, will there be hostile wildlife that will interact with Chief and kind of attack enemies or the Chief? And they said no plans for hostile wildlife right now. But 343 did say that the wildlife definitely helps bring that Zeta Halo world to life. They talked about these space gophers that we've seen multiple times. They also talked about birds in the air. If they're circling in an area, it could be a clue to go explore that area. Very Sea of Thieves vibes there. And they also said some of the wildlife will look really cool during the nighttime. With the last Inside Infinite update, 343 did confirm that you would be able to hold multiple equipment in Halo Infinite. Now somebody asked if that was exclusive to the campaign or would that be in multiplayer as well. And multiplayer is confirmed one at a time for the equipment. You cannot hold multiple in matchmaking. But 343 did say that they really have a plan, and this is the current plan. It's not confirmed to be in the game just yet, but the current plan is to allow players in custom games to have that option to hold multiple equipment if you guys so choose. Now somebody asked if you could upgrade your weapons in the campaign, and 343 did say that when they initially started designing Halo Infinite that they tried this. However, it detracted from the feeling that they felt that Halo should have, especially with this game, and they liked that feature at first, but it messed with their vision. There are things in the game that you can progress. For example, equipment you can upgrade, and you can improve the capabilities of said equipment, and also there are cool weapon variants to be found in Halo Infinite. Now let's talk about Playable Elites. Saying Healy friends out there, no current plans for Playable Elites in Halo Infinite. It is a Master Chief and Spartan story, including in the multiplayer 343 said, but they did say never say never. The final thing that we're gonna go over is, will dual wielding be in Halo Infinite? No, currently not in the cards for Halo Infinite. Another one of kind of never say never, but they are focused on the stuff that they're trying to nail down with that gameplay loop. And 343 has been on the record before of saying that dual wielding presents a lot of balancing issues, so it would definitely be a headache. But that is your 45-minute Ask 343 video condensed into under 15. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have another video coming out later today for you guys based on MCC Custom Games Browser. Where is it at? Is it coming? Unfortunately, the short answer is no, but there is definitely some really cool stuff that has been updated in the latest flight for MCC that you guys are definitely going to want to check out. Make sure you guys stop by the channel. Like I said, subscribe. Hope to catch you guys on either a previous video of mine or a future video of mine. Until that time comes, I'm your boy Patman, and I'm out.